You can't see me, but I'm just out of the screen.
Your best feature, your meaty left claw.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Movie ReWined, a show where we go back and watch old movies that are relevant to new ones coming out. I'm your host, Keegan Holland, and with me is my co-host, Mike Jennison.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Loud and clear?
Yeah.
Cool.
We've been talking for like a minute already.
I was wondering if the podcast was picking me up.
Oh. Joining us this week is How to Train Your Dragon Die Hard, Jacob Rossi.
What's up, guys? First time, long time?
First time, long time. Let's end this. I'm sorry. This is a mistake.
Jeez. This week we are doing both How to Train Your Dragon 1 and How to Train Your Dragon 2, because 3 is coming out in 2 weeks, I think.
12 days.
Wow. Die Hard. Yeah, like we said on last week's pod, this is quietly like the best reviewed animated franchise behind Toy Story. And me and Mike had not seen either 1 or 2, so we were excited to finally watch them. Jacob, you'd seen both, right?
I have, yes.
So let's just get into it then. Actually, our wine. We should talk about our wine first. We are drinking Barefoot Riesling, a refreshingly sweet white wine.
I got the Napa Valley red wine from Trader Joe's.
Mike's just yelling into the microphone.
Mike, how does yours tie in?
Blood. A lot of bloodshed, though you don't see a single drop at any point during these two movies.
Correct.
Not true. When the dragon is playing with Hiccup in the cradle, and the dad scares the dragon.
You're right. Wow.
She scratches Hiccup's chin, and you see blood.
Wow.
Die
Good
Hard.
memory.
Die Hard.
We're drinking Barefoot, and it ties in because in the second movie, Hiccup loses his leg. Or in the first movie, at the end of the first, but it really comes into play in the second.
Spoilers.
No,
Yeah,
sorry.
This is a spoiler-heavy one. So, Mike, what did you think going into these? Were you excited to watch these?
Yeah, they're both... Yeah, I've actually been meaning to watch this for a while now. I remember Rossi was, raving about this, 3 years ago to me, and I was like, yeah, I want to see these movies. You don't have to try to convince me that these are good movies. I agree, these are probably good movies. And sure enough, they were good movies.
Yeah, I was excited to watch them just because it's a pretty good cast. It's really weird, though, because you have a bunch of, no-names and Gerard Butler doing Scottish accents, and then you have Jay Baruchel doing Canadian, I guess, and America Ferrera doing American, and Jonah Hill. It's really weird.
Well, what's
no one even
Jay
tries.
is Canadian.
Yeah, Jay Baruchel's Canadian, yeah.
Yeah.
But his dad's Scottish, and even...
hard
yeah,
Scottish.
Aggressively Scottish, and it seems like all the men in Burke are hardcore Scottish, and all the kids just, I don't know, they don't speak any of it. Even as they grow up, they don't get that accent going at all. They don't even try.
No. It's also funny that, this cast aged so well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, in 2010, this is a very, it's all that group, it's like the Superbad group, basically. You know? The Seth Rogen crew and stuff.
You have McLovin, Jay Baruchel, Jonah Hill. Who's
T.J. Miller.
T.J. Miller.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if is Miller the new one?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Kristen Wiig's in this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good cast.
Great
and
cast.
then they add Kate Blanchett in the second one, who does a Scottish accent. So I don't really know. We have to decide who does it and who doesn't.
Maybe they asked them to do Scottish accents, and they were just so bad that they're like, scrap it. You guys just talk like yourself.
Yeah. But, Jay Baruchel isn't a huge name. So just get, a random Scottish person.
Yeah.
In 2010, no one's going to see this movie for Jay Baruchel.
Right.
But also, he has, the perfect nerdy voice for Hiccup, who, for those who don't know, is kind of struggling with his masculinity, being the smallest guy in the whole village and not wanting to kill dragons and all that.
Also, that voice just makes him stick out that much more, too.
That's true.
So it definitely works.
Yeah. So let's get into the first one. Also, the way they look is insane. The second one looks so much better than the first one.
Oh, I know.
It's crazy.
The opening shot of Burke in the second one, night and day difference.
Yeah.
I'm like, thank God. They
Yeah.
paid some animators second time around.
That's true. Like, the first one looks like Shrek from '03, and the second one is like a modern animated movie.
Yeah.
But the first one, what's even the story? Oh yeah, he's like an outcast. Everyone on the island is a hardcore Viking that kills dragons, but he kind of a soy boy, doesn't want to kill dragons, and he stumbles upon the most legendary dragon of them all in the forest.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
He shoots it down, actually.
Yeah,
Gotta give him some credit.
that's true.
What's it?
It's a Night Fury.
Night
A
Fury.
Night Fury.
Yeah.
These are based off books too. We should
Are they?
mention that.
I was going to
Yeah.
ask that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Beloved children's novels.
Might have to
I
go
think
back and
so.
read them.
I might be making that up.
I think you are.
Am I?
'Cause I've never heard of it other than the movies.
I
So
hope
maybe-
it's based off a
so-
book.
So maybe not beloved.
Yeah.
But
So the plot we've seen a million times. The kid disappointing to his father, but at the end of the day, he proves him wrong.
Through like a non-traditional way, too,
Yeah.
where it's like, you know, your dad wants you to be a state championship wrestler, and instead you make him totally proud of being like an academic decathlete or something like that. You know what I
Charlie
mean?
Seacrest.
Shout out Chuck.
that's literally Seacrest's trajectory.
Really?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well,
The only way to define yourself is by being a state champion. Charlie Seacrest.
well, there you go.
Let's make a movie about Chuck's life.
Man.
I mean, do you guys think these movies are funny?
I laugh. The
I
dad's
didn't.
hilarious in the first one when he just rips into Rossi was talking about this via text.
Yeah.
He's like, now I can show my face around in town again. Like,
Yeah. Some of
after-
the dad's comments.
like after his kids actually looked upon as like being worth something,
Yeah.
he just totally rips into his son and how big of a disappointment he was
Yeah.
leading up to that. That was funny.
Or the first one where Goober keeps going like, we need less of this, and he keeps going, you just pointed to all of me. And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
right.
No, yeah, there's little jabs here or there where you're like,
Yeah.
you kind of smirk. Maybe not laugh out loud,
Yeah,
funny, but
not
I had a
laugh
smile
out
on my
loud.
face.
Right.
I had a smile on my face majority of the time.
Especially with
From
the
the
cast, though.
Huh?
You would think there would be bigger laughs with the cast, but I think it's just a well-told story. It's not a comedy by any means.
For the record,
No.
it's based off books, 12 books.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, do we know if this third one is going to be books 8 through 12, or I guess 9 through 12?
I don't know.
It's fair.
Nice.
We'll get
But
back
the
to
lo-
you guys on that.
The last book came out in, there's a Wikipedia, 4 paragraphs of what's different from the book or not.
When did the last book come out?
2015.
Oh, wow. So
Okay.
these are pretty contemporary.
03 to 2015.
Wow. We'll have to read
Damn.
these.
Yeah,
Are
we
these,
were kids
super
during it.
kid movies? Or
Huh?
books? Are these, children's books?
I assume.
12-page books?
I assume. A sick world, though.
Yeah, and I love the different kinds of dragons. And they don't really highlight it in the second one as much, but in the first one, the McLovin character is basically like a D&D player, and he has all the stats of all the dragons and stuff. I like that. I feel like they really went away from that in the next one.
The first one's a perfectly told story.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree.
I love the final fight. Should we just dive into that right now?
Yeah, and I think the villain... So the villain in the first one is just like the dragons, right?
It's just a huge dragon.
Yeah. I
Well,
like that more.
Yeah, so the first one, I love there's a few things I love. I love how the alpha, the big dragon, kind of controls the other dragons, because it also sets up kind of nicely for the second one. And then I'm a sucker for just oversized monsters that I don't know why. It makes no sense, but man, when that dragon busts out of the mountain, I just go nuts. And then you see it flying, I'm like, oh man, that just gets me going.
When
Yeah.
the wings started flapping and that giant thing soared, I also was bummed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that fight scene has two of my favorite shots of any movie. It's ridiculous to say, I know, but when they throw that flaming catapult into the mountain and it goes the length of the mountain and you see all the dragons
dragons
lining the wall, that's so cool. And then when it shows the like from the beach, you're looking at the big dragon in the clouds. You just see its silhouette flying through the clouds after Hiccup and Toothless. Those two shots, I think, are just unbelievable.
Or how about when Toothless controls the catch to the ground, snatches him out of the air?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was sick.
The first one is just a super well-told story. However, it takes so long to get going. Like, he doesn't tame Toothless until like 45 minutes in. It takes a long time for that to happen.
Yeah.
It's a very classic story, but I loved how they showed like the dragon training scene, or the when they're trying to train him to fight the dragons, and how all that tied back in at the end and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, this is a textbook screenplay.
How dangerous is that?
Oh, I know.
It's ridiculous.
I just want to see a little bit more carnage in the first one. Just one of those rogue flames, just light someone on fire. That's all I wanted.
It seemed like every single day it was like village sponsored. Our young children may die.
Yeah.
And it was like there was training, and I don't know, it was ridiculous.
And there's no way that Goober guy could ever save you if you.
No.
If shit hits the fan, you're screwed.
Yeah.
He saved him one time.
Yeah, but like
one time, but
once.
he was right there.
He can't be everywhere.
Yeah. He was funny though.
Yeah, it's played by Craig Ferguson, which I don't think he's done like anything else.
That makes sense.
I mean, besides his talk show.
Craig Ferguson's funny.
Yeah, he is. Charlie, speaking of Charlie, he loved his talk show. I thought it was terrible.
Really? I liked his talk show too. Good interviews.
Yeah, because he didn't have like pre-written questions.
No, he'd tear him up, throw him behind his shoulder, and then just shoot the shit for 20 minutes. It was good. I like that show. Craig Ferguson stan here.
Did you like the love interest in the first one?
Yeah. I felt it. Whatever.
Kind of paint by numbers, you know? It's way better in the second one.
Yeah, it's played better. They look so much better in the second one, too. So I could feel it more. I could feel the intensity, the chemistry a little bit more.
You could get a little hot for Astrid in the second one.
Oh, I was hot for everybody.
Man, they could have made Astrid better looking, let's be real. She got that overly round head. Come on, guys.
Yeah. DreamWorks has their style. Like, this is a very DreamWorks movie.
Yeah. It's
for
like
better
big,
or worse.
It's like shapy, blocky.
Yeah.
So, I'm actually, speaking of the love interest, I'm really interested for the third movie, like how Astrid plays into it, because the first one, when Stoic basically disowns Hiccup, takes Toothless on the boat and sails away to the Dragon's Nest, Astrid's the one that like gives him the pep talk, and then at the same time, Astrid in the second movie goes to Drago first. She's like all in on all this. She's kind of a hell of a, I don't know, person to have in your corner throughout these for Hiccup, and it seems like at some of his lowest points, she says the right thing to him. I'm interested to see if they continue to try to do something with her or just kind of let her fizzle away, because it could very easily go either way.
Yeah.
It could easily be a fizzle. But I don't think it will be. But with the introduction of the mom, it might not be necessary to have a strong female character, two strong female characters.
So let's get to the second one, I guess. But Stoic in the second one says, my future daughter-in-law.
Yeah.
So you think she'll probably still be around? I haven't really looked.
I mean, she'll be around. But
it's just, is she going to be featured at all? Or is she just going to be riding with those other, like, Jonah Hill, Kristen Wiig, like, characters, and just be on their dragons, like, you know, coming in one time when they need backup?
Also, do they have a kid in the third one? Are they married?
Yeah, he goes from 15
married,
to
and I'm
20.
going to say it's opening shots them holding their baby.
Wow.
Or the closing shot.
Wow.
That'd
Put
be
that
cool.
in stone.
Yeah,
so I guess
it's stone.
First one, I'd recommend it. It's a good, well-told story.
Yeah.
I really
couldn't see you not liking it.
Huh?
I couldn't see anyone not liking it.
Oh no, it's a very good family-friendly movie.
But you got to be able to, I don't know, maybe some people don't like how like childish and it's dragons and it's like so fantasy that maybe that turns people off.
Yeah.
But I really like it.
Yeah, it ties in well to this modern-day fantasy kick with dragons and stuff. The Game of Thrones people. It's like Game of Thrones for 5-year-olds, 8-year-olds.
So second one,
10-year-olds,
23-year-olds.
The second one adds Kit Harington, who's most famous from Game of Thrones. He plays Argetin, or what the fuck that guy's name is?
Eret, son of Eret.
There we go. Eret, son of Eret, Argetin. Not even close. And then also adds Kate Blanchett as Hiccup's mom. I was actually upset when this first happened. I'm like, oh, of course she's still alive. But then she's actually a pretty badass character, and I actually liked her role in the movie. I thought they were going to kill her. When she's getting chased down in that initial fight, I thought she was done. I'm like, oh, so 30 minutes? Game over. But then they kill the dad.
Yeah.
When they kill the dad, I'm like, oh, that was so obvious. I should have saw that coming. But I did see it coming. But, like, they finally make back up. It's like, we can't give Hiccup two parents.
Well, two things. One, how weird is it when the mom first comes in? She's like crawling on all fours, and she looks like a mongoloid type character where she's like, she walked like a monkey on her like knuckles, and then she realizes Hiccup's her son. The rest of the movie, she's Homo erectus, baby. She's shoulders over hips the whole movie. And then two, I'm not sure a scene I've ever watched is more fun than when the parents sing that song.
Oh my god. Rossi has listened to that song minimum 20 times.
Mike
It's a great
know the song. Oh, he does. What a comeback.
It's a great song.
The song is great. Also, the
The
introduction.
song they sing in the second one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The introduction of the mom when she just like rises from the clouds in that badass uniform is so sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was the villain.
I thought it was too the first time I watched it.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate the mom introduction. I liked it. She was a cool character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the death of the dad was fun.
Fun.
Finally we got some real drama.
I hated the get out of here, Toothless! Go! It's like the Harry and the Hendersons kind of thing. It's like, alright. You know he's not.
Obviously, you're not going to tell him to go away forever. The final line, Keith and I are just watching it and laughing. He goes, I don't know, it's something along the lines of, it's like the classic, they're panning over Burke and Jay Baruchel's just talking, doing a monologue, and he just goes, but we have our dragons! And he yells it in, and it is hysterical. It's such a cringeworthy line.
It's one of the worst line readings of all time. It's up there with Keanu Reeves from The Matrix. Whoa, I know Kung Fu. it's that level of terrible. Yeah, that was an interesting thing to end on.
I didn't catch that. Too bad.
Maybe run that back.
Yeah,
if you want
run
a
it
good
back.
chuckle before bed tonight.
But I like how they both open and close with "This is Burke. This is how we've changed and everything."
Every
Hopefully they
single
keep that.
one does that.
Yeah,
It's nice.
hopefully they do it in 3.
Yeah, they will.
I wonder how nice Burke will look in the third one. Am I going to be like, wow, it looks even better?
Probably.
They just do like a modern 21st century city.
It's live action.
Yeah.
I think the villain in 2 is kind of weak. Like he wasn't very engaging or menacing.
It seems a little
really.
inconsistent because at one point in the movie, he defeats Stoic, who's like a ridiculous one-on-one hand fighter.
Yeah.
He beats Stoic. And then the two alphas engage. So he had so many opportunities in the movie, this is Drago, to kill Hiccup, the mom, Stoic, and he never does.
No.
And it seems so unbelievable that if you're going for essentially world domination and you have a chance to kill your biggest rival, you would do it. Especially with Viking times.
I don't love the villain second one either. And for that reason, I think the first one's better. Are we all in agreement with that?
I think so too. Second one definitely looks better, but
there's so many cool shots in the second one that, like, I think if you had the first one's animation wouldn't work as well. Like when they first meet the mom, when she rises out of the clouds, and when all the dragons' mouths are like lanterns when they're inside the mountain or the ice kind of fortress.
The ice fortress was sick.
Yeah. And how cool was that? The alpha, the ice ice spitter.
Yeah, that was too bad to see him go.
It's weird.
Went out like a
with
bitch
that.
though.
It really did.
Yeah.
If that was like a rated R movie, that thing dying would have been so cool.
Oh,
Just
God,
two
yeah.
horns to the side, gushing blood. But yeah, that's big fight scene in the second one. It feels like it's the end of the movie, and you just get to this crazy high, and then you're like, oh, there's still 40 minutes left.
Yeah, it's very strange the timing because they do the fight scene and then they just essentially relocate and run it back at Burke.
yeah.
But it's not as exciting the second time around.
No, not even close. Yeah.
I mean, the blindfold's like whatever. I mean, it was funny when they were flying around with the little babies. That was cute.
I know. I do think that when you rewatch it, in both movies, he has something that comes up early in the movie that he brings back late. So the mom just offhanded comment. She's like, "Oh, they all listen to the alpha, except the babies," and that's the reason they do it. And then in the first one, I mean, it's not quite the same, but they're like, "Oh, how are we gonna reach? How are we gonna reach the Viking ships in time? We don't have anything fast enough." And Goober says something like, "These dragons are faster than any ship," so he goes and takes the dragons and catches up to him in like no time. It's kind of weird how they do that, but it seems like there aren't too many wasted lines in the movie.
No, and especially the first one. The first one is so well written.
Yeah.
Also, I do love how how he controls the dragon. How he like shot down the tail. You know, so he deforms it basically, but then then he has to control it and stuff. That whole concept I really like.
Yeah.
I like the
He
inclusion.
has to ride the dragon in order for it to fly and stuff.
I like the inclusion of the Viking funeral. I think they're gonna do it in a kids movie, but
They did though.
That's how I'm going out. Viking funeral or cremation.
That's how my Buick's going out in a week. I might be on it. We'll see.
Is Hiccup, not Hiccup, Toothless a little overpowered?
It seems like every single time there's a pinch that they're in, it's like, oh, and Toothless saves the day. You know what I mean? The fact that the ice spitter just essentially destroys him, and then all of a sudden, I don't even understand the blue glow, but he gets this blue glow, and then
Does he get hot or something?
Yeah, he challenges the alpha, and all the other dragons follow him. In this third movie, what I really want is a little bit more explaining on the dragon side, because the first movie, when he's flipping through the book, and then the Jonah Hill character, you get background on dragons. He's like, oh, this dragon, whatever, very dangerous, kill immediately. This dragon, very dangerous, kill immediately. Yeah. The second one, the dad rides a dragon the whole movie, and you know nothing about that dragon. They don't do a very good job of giving you dragon backstory, so I really hope they expand on that in the third.
Yeah, they did not do that in the second one, which is a shame, because the first one was so well done in that perspective. But more dragons in the second one. They're all cool.
The second, though, that first alpha dies, I mean, I knew it was going to be Toothless that was going to be the next alpha. Like, there was, no doubt in my mind. But, I don't know. I guess it was, how else are you going to do it? But he just seems like he's God, basically.
Yes.
He's just, ridiculous.
For the record, he's going to find another Night Rider, right? What's his species?
Night Fury? Yeah, in the trailer, it's actually an all-white female. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's a female and they're gonna reproduce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it's gonna end. It's gonna start with them having a baby and it's gonna end with Toothless having a child.
I was gonna say it's gonna end with both Hiccup and Toothless with babies in arm as the credits roll.
No, Hiccup and Astrid's kids riding Toothless kids.
Oh yeah.
All three of them riding different. Can't wait.
I'm juice.
Man, I'm actually not thrilled about that prospect. I don't want that.
I know. It
So
won't happen. Toothless is dying in the last one.
Wow.
No way.
There's no chance.
But he's gonna have a baby still.
How do these movies do financially? Are they hits?
I think well. I don't think smash hits.
Right. That's why I'm surprised that it got a third one.
I'm gonna say, oh wow, $500 million.
Damn.
Number one got.
I mean, I think if you have a kids movie that can really, I don't know, it has a decent plot and parents don't hate it, they'll take their kids, they'll buy the DVD.
Yeah, the second one made $620 million.
Oh dang!
It's got a pretty decent following. And actually, as an animated movie, very big animated movie fan, it took me a long time to see this. My older brother actually convinced me to watch it, so probably 3 or 4 years after the first one came out.
Wow. The second one premiered at Cannes Film Festival. Cannes Film Festival.
Nice. So
that's interesting.
It is interesting. So, how are you feeling for the third one here, Mike?
I'm excited. I am.
Yeah, I'm happy I finally got around to him.
Yeah. I'm more excited for this than I was Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Wow.
That's an animated movie I will not see.
Why?
Wreck-It Ralph was one of the biggest letdowns of my life. Yeah, that's right. I'm sticking by that comment.
That's understandable.
That trailer, I'm not kidding, and I haven't seen the trailer in probably 4 years. I thought the Wreck-It Ralph trailer was like the coolest potential movie concept where it's a bad guy trying to be good and all this stuff, and like the music got me going. It was not a good movie to me. Wreck-It Ralph, the first one, and so
Wreck-It Ralph, the first one.
Whatever, Wreck-It Ralph. So as a result, I refuse to see Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah, I think it's a hard skip, the second one.
Wreck-It Ralph 2?
Yeah.
I mean, both of the plots are just so... Yeah.
Yeah, it was the plot I didn't like. I don't know. I don't know what I had in mind for it, but just like he's now a good guy almost right off the bat, and then he just essentially defeats the bad guy. I thought it was going to be more of, I'm a bad guy, here's my journey. It was like right away. It's like, I'm a good guy, and now this guy I know, I forget his name, Turbo maybe? Whatever, he's bad, and essentially root for me. It's like there was no kind of journey for Ralph. That's what I was looking forward to.
I will say that they do a better job world building though in the second Wreck-It Ralph.
It's not a world I like though.
Is it just a conglomerate of all Disney worlds?
Pretty much.
I mean, at one point, yes.
Back to the movie we were supposed to be talking about. You had concerns, right, going into the third one?
Me?
You?
Yeah, big concerns. So my biggest concern is looking at the movies. The first one, the dragons go from enemies to friends. The second one, they go from basically like, I don't know, misunderstood around the world to they got a few more people involved, but really took out the biggest person that opposes dragons. He's trying to essentially enslave all the dragons. In the third one, I think it's going to be the exact same as the second one, the villain.
It looks like that. Yeah.
Where it's like, I am going to capture dragons. They're going to be my army, and then because of that, I'm going to be unstoppable. And if the villain in the third one is the exact same as the villain in the second one, I mean, obviously not the same character, but similar kind of line of thinking and why he's doing it, I'm going to be really disappointed. Now, also, this is going back, but the villain in the second one, Drago, he briefly says, he's like, I've seen what a dragon can do to a village. I've seen him do this, that, and the other thing. And they do not expand on that at all. So when I look at Thanos, where he's like, this is why I'm doing this, and they show flashbacks to his life, that really makes Thanos much more of a complex character, and you kind of are like, kind of understand this. Well, Drago's just a bad guy, and I think the third one, they're just going to have some anti-dragon guy trying to take over everything, and the good guys are going to win.
Yeah, from the trailers, it looks like it's going to be the same character, but then you also have Toy Story 2 and Toy Story 3, where they're basically the same plot, but you can make them both interesting, whereas the How to Train Your Dragon 2 guy is not interesting at all.
No.
If they make the third guy interesting, but do the same thing, I think he could still work. But I had that same concern from the trailer.
Well, that's the issues when we do trilogies here. You know, usually the first one's a very contained movie, then 2 expands, and by the third movie, they're gods fighting each other. You know, I mean, Keegan always breaks it up when we're always talking about trilogies. So yeah, the third one might just be like the second one, just a little bit more intense, I guess. I don't really know where they're going. I knew they'd introduce a new
Night Fury.
But
I think they're calling it a Light Fury in the third.
Because it's white.
It's all white instead of all black.
Wow, they're gonna have interracial children.
That's so 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
AOC's all about this movie. The director of these movies also directed Stitch. Thought it was worth mentioning.
Stitch. Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah. Sorry, Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
Watched that recently. It's pretty good. Still enjoy it.
I don't
Hawaiian
think I've
Roller
ever
Coaster
seen
Ride
the
is
movie.
an underrated Disney tune.
I agree. I
don't
jammed to that.
I don't think it's underrated. That was played at so many parties.
I don't think enough people rate it highly.
Yeah,
It's
it
the
was played at a
definition
lot.
of underrated. Yeah, I know.
It was played at a lot of parties. I will agree with that.
All right, fine.
It jams. It
Maybe
jams.
I'm wrong.
Hey, I agree. We're good.
As someone who regularly goes to Spotify and just hits Disney playlist, I haven't seen Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride on any of them.
Ross, what's your favorite Disney song that's not Hercules?
Kiss the Girl by Sebastian the Crab.
By Sebastian the Crab.
Awesome.
That's a fair choice.
Yeah. He just starts it off with, like, winds, and then it's a bunch of, like, sea animals that play the winds, and then he goes, percussion, strings and then words, and then he starts singing. I think the words is so hilarious.
This could be a podcast by
Sexy
itself.
Jamaican voice just takes you away.
Oh my gosh, it's great. All right, yeah.
We'll have to do best Disney song at some point.
That'd be good.
So we're all excited for How to Train Your Dragon 3. I think Mike, me, and you were both happy we finally got around to him. Jacob, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for your input.
He'll be on for 3.
See you
Yeah,
guys
you'll
soon.
be on in 2 weeks.
Unfortunately.
Probably after the Oscar stuff, right? Because you guys probably won't get around to seeing it right then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mike, how'd you feel about your wine?
I enjoy my wine. It's good. It's a solid red wine. It was on sale at Trader Joe's for $8.
Barefoot has won like a ton of international awards. This is double gold from 2012. This is basically just grape juice. So
I really enjoyed that wine. I feel like I could drink a lot of it.
I could drink an entire bottle of that and have just the worst hangover of all time.
That
But
sounds right.
yeah, how much was this? I think I bought this actually years ago.
There's no way that thing was $10.
I would love to be a cheap wine guy.
Me too.
It was so easy.
If the next day weren't so brutal.
It sucks.
I mean,
just keep drinking the cheap wine though.
it doesn't matter though, because when I'm not cheap wine guy, I'm just shot guy, and my next day's no better when I'm being shot guy.
That's true. It's hard to be alcohol guy at all.
Yeah,
There's no good hangover.
we're too old for that.
Yeah.
Not
All right.
drinking. That's the good hangover.
Love it.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time for, I don't even know what the next one is. Hellboy,
Oscar
maybe.
pod. Oh, rewind?
ReWined.
Who the fuck knows?
Bye!
Later!
Peace out, guys.
I think he really loves her. 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 New little prince will hold her diamond hands. They're living on the beach in his castle of sand. He really loves her. I think he really loves her. Well, come on, get it, and they're making waves. The glitter on her face reflected in her shape.